Hi, I'm going to be reading a story about a girl who wants to become an engineer. She loves to make things and create things. Then one day, somebody kind of laughs at her, a little invention or creation that she makes. And we're going to read on and see what happens when they laugh at her. Does she give up or does she keep on trying and kind of forget about the person who laughs at her? All right, it's called Rosie Revere, Engineer by Andrea Beatty, illustrated by David Roberts. This is a story of Rosie Revere, who dreamed of becoming a great engineer. In Lila Greer's classroom at Blue River Creek, young Rosie sat shyly, not daring to speak. You see her right there? But when no one saw her, she peeked in the trash for treasures to add to her engineer stash. And late at night, Rosie rolled up her sleeves and built in her hideaway under the eaves. Alone in her attic, the moon high above, dear Rosie made gadgets and gizmos she loved. And when she grew sleepy, she hid her machines far under the bed where they'd never be seen. Look at all those crazy designs and pictures. It looks pretty awesome. Love the illustrations in these books. When Rosie was young, she had not been so shy. She worked with her hair swooping over one eye and made fine inventions for uncles and aunts, and a hot dog dispenser and helium pumps. The uncle she loved most was Zookeeper Fred. She made him a hat to keep snakes off his head, from parts of a fan and some cheddar cheese spray, which everyone knows keeps the pythons away. And when it was finished, young Rosie was proud, but Fred slapped his knee and he chuckled out loud. He laughed till he wheezed and his eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who stood there embarrassed, perplexed, and dismayed. She looked at the cheese hat and then looked away. "I love it," Fred hooted. "Oh, truly I do." But Rosie Revere knew that could not be true. She stuck that cheese hat on the back of her shelf, and after that day she kept her dreams to herself. She was kind of embarrassed, right? When Zookeeper Fred kind of laughed at her invention. And that's how it went until one autumn day her oldest relation showed up for a stay. Her great Aunt Rose was a true dynamo who'd worked building airplanes a long time ago. She told Rosie tales of the things she had done and goals she had checked off her list one by one. She gave a sad smile as she looked to the sky. "The only thrill left on my list is to fly. But time never lingers as long as it seems. I'll chalk that one up to an old lady's dreams." I want you to think, what is going to happen next? Rosie likes to build things, we know that, and her great aunt wants to fly. Hmm, let's see. That night, as Rosie lay wide-eyed in bed, a daring idea crept in her head. She could she build a gizmo to help her aunt fly? She looked at the cheese hat and said, "No, not I." But questions are tricky and some hold on tight, and this one kept Rosie awake through the night. So when dawn approached and red streaks lit the sky, young Rosie knew just how to make her aunt fly. I wonder what she's going to use to build it. She worked till the day was half gone, then hauled her cheese copter out onto the lawn to give her invention a test just to see the ridiculous flop it might turn out to be. Do you think it's gonna fly? Let's see. Strapped into the cockpit, she flipped on a switch. The Hello Cheese copter sputtered and twitched. It floated a moment and whirled round and round, then froze for a heartbeat and crashed to the ground. Oh no. Then Rosie heard laughter and turned round to see the old woman laughing and slapping her knee. Oh, not again. Somebody's laughing at her inventions. She laughed till she wheezed and her eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who thought, oh no, never, not ever again will I try to build something to sputter or spin, or build with a lever or a switch or a gear, and never will I be a great engineer. She's just feeling so sad. All the things she's making for people are just not turning out right, huh? She turned round to leave, but then Great-Great-Aunt Rose grabbed hold of young Rosie and pulled her in close, and hugged her and kissed her and started to cry. You did it! Hooray! It's the perfect first try! This great flop is over. It's time for the next. Young Rosie was baffled, embarrassed, perplexed. Perplexed means kind of confused. Like, what? We're on to the next? I failed, said dear Rosie. It's just made of trash. Didn't you see? The cheese-copter crashed. Yes, said her great aunt. It crashed, that is true. But first it did just what it needed to do before it crashed, Rosie. Before that, it flew. I wonder what they're going to do. So she's kind of making her feel better, saying, it's okay, you tried. And it's okay if you failed, but don't just give up. Let's see what you can change and fix. Let's see what they get, what they do. Your brilliant first flop was a raging success. Come on, let's get busy and go on to the next. She handed a notebook to Rosie Revere, who smiled at her aunt as it all became clear. Life might have its failures, but this was not it. The only true failure can come if you quit. So did she just give up, or did she keep on trying? They worked till the sun sneaked away in its bed. Aunt Rose tied her headscarf around Rosie's head and sent her to sleep with a smile ear to ear to dreamable dreams of a great engineer. Now she's feeling a lot better. Her aunt's trying to help her get her dream or help her dreams come true. At Blue River Creek, all the kids in grade 2 build gizmos and gadgets and doohickeys too. With each perfect failure, they all stand and cheer, but none quite as proudly as Rosie Revere. Good. I hope you enjoyed this story. I think it has a really good lesson about not just giving up on the first try. Keep on trying and trying to fix things, figure out the problems, and just work as best you can. Have a great day.